man, you straight from the south side. Mike, man. I'm just so happy to be here right now. Real Rap Podcast.
Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages, we are back. Another episode, Real Rap Podcast. In a new stew, guys. You see what it is, man. And I have very special guests. Take a look at all these flyers. There's 1,000 of them because this is a man of 1,000 shows, 1,000 productions, 1,000 jobs. I think he's halfway Jamaican. Everybody, Tony Strong. We all know him, man. And then also another strong producer. Not only that, a radio personality, my good brother Marlon. I don't say his last name because I think he might be on witness protection, but that's here nor there. We're going to get into it. Another episode of Real Rap, and you guys already know, I don't remember what episode we're on. We're getting close to our 100th episode, guys, and we've already been talking for the last 4.5 hours, so catch up. We're going to get right back into our conversation. You guys see what it is, man. Real Rap. To get back to it, one, you're on. We're gonna get into the tour that you got going on with Be Cold, how tremendous that is. But then also, because we've been talking about doing this together for a while, and I've never really did a deep dive on your time in the music industry, which you was a heavyweight in the music industry, and now you're starting to get your roots into the comedy industry. But what's a brief timeline of your time in the music industry?
So the music industry started seriously when I was before I hit like 30. I was like 28 at that time. I had figured out this plan where I would go around to different storefronts and restaurants, or they have a little bar, and I would ask them who was booking their venue for them. And so I accumulated a list of 45 venues, almost 50 venues, and I started booking the place, right? So I would book it originally for my events, for showcases. I was young, so I did all kinds of stuff, lingerie parties, contests, everything. So all up and down the north side, the north suburbs, all the way to Barrington, Niles and places like that. And I would book it also for people that had retirement parties, people that wanted to do baby showers, right. All kinds of events. And so I realized that there's some money to be made in this, right? I was working with local artists on the North Pole, shooting videos for them. Getting the people to shoot the videos. I was always an organizer, so I was always putting things together. But then there was a point in my life where things kind of turned, and they didn't turn in a positive way, right? And so, I'm in and out of short bits, and at the county jail, and at first it was cool, it was easy because I had the money to get out, and and then I caught a more serious charge. You know what I'm saying? Because I fell into the trap of my surroundings, and coming up, I was separated by a couple miles from my father, but he did what he did, and he was very big at what he did, and and so now I wanted to become that. Sure. And that wasn't even me. The streets wasn't me. I wasn't about the streets. I was about reading newspapers. I was about figuring out a way how to make money and not really work, and my passion was in organizing. It wasn't necessarily into music. I love music, but I was more passionate about putting an event together.
That's interesting. You say that though too. When you say you were separated as far as your mentality, like you wanted to be a learner, you wanted to be you're naturally an organizer, but because of family ties or your environment, things might have called you. I always said in my mind, like, if you grow up on a farm and your daddy was a farmer and your daddy's daddy before him was a farmer, and you hella smart, it's not like you're going to go to law school. You're just going to probably be a really smart farmer and try and think of smart ways to farm.
Yeah. Right. More unique ways, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's dope. And then how did you end up getting into like the music industry? Because I mean y'all is actually pretty similar stories, right?
it's
like you got half half a foot in the music industry, and then also breaking bread in the comedy side.
Yeah, my dad got me involved. Actually, he started Twin Cities Radio in 2014, I believe. Yeah, 2014. He started Twin Cities Radio, and we had our relationship was kind of broken. I ain't gonna lie, but then we locked in or whatever, and then he was just like I'm trying to come to Chicago and do something.
Right.
Do something in Chicago, and so then we started Chicago Smooth Jazz in 2021. This is my 5-year anniversary coming up this year in July. That we launch. We have a party every year on the Riverwalk, the Northman, to celebrate my anniversary and stuff like that. So yeah, he brought me in, and I used to promote parties back in the days, like down in So I've always liked Tim. I'd like to bring people together. I'm like a messiah, so to speak. And so my dad, we launched that, and then we launched Chicago Smooth Jazz. And that's pretty much how I got in. And I pretty much was given to me, for my dad. And then now I'm up and running. And I got it going, and I got my my engineer up there and stuff. And all he do is run the MP3 and all that. And, it's on the World Wide Web, ChicagoSmoothJazz.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and then TwinCitiesRadio.com.
That's fire. So that's borderline a legacy, and that's dope. And even. That's crazy. So was this like a bridge between y'all's relationship, or was there something to it? Because that's interesting. So many people from the culture, right, have varying degrees of relationships with their father for a million reasons, right? Mm-hmm. Did you happen? Because some people I would think would be like, all right, if I don't have a good relationship with my pops, I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. Or is this like you hopped into the same industry? Was this like a trying to like, hey, I'm here? Yeah,
it did two things. It brought us together, and then it showed me a different light with him because like I said, we was estranged growing up. You know what I mean? But now we got something that we gotta work at together. Like, it's like, and it's like I told Tony. I don't know if I told Tony this, but I look at it like this. Twin Cities Radio is the Cosby Show. Chicago Smooth Jazz is a different world. Elephant in the Room is the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Black Life gonna be a different world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the spinoff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna do our thing. You know what I mean? So, yep, that's pretty much how I look at it.
That's what's up. Now, so I'm glad I get to get both of y'all insight on this, right? Because there's another Harlem-based music producer. I think most people know who he is. And I recently heard, he happens to be on a staycation right now, concrete staycation. But I heard he might be coming out soon. And there was some documentaries on him, and people were digging into his life. People were trying to, hey, this, that, and the third, and you need to go. The industry got super quiet around that. Like there was one particular person that was blowing his spot up, was doing Netflix and documentaries, was trolling them online. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. But anyway, there was a person that was really going hard, but everybody else, real quiet. And it looks to be that he's going to be coming out possibly pretty soon, possibly any minute now. And do you think he deserves... How do you think this person, if you happen to know who I was talking about, how do you think this person goes back into his role in the music industry? Because let's not lie to each other. It's not like the music industry is everybody's walking around with halos and rainbows, right? Yeah. How do you think bro comes back into this this industry?
So I got probably a really thought out, interesting, at least to me, right, take on the situation. Okay, but of course, we humans, everybody got an opinion. Mm-hmm. But I'm a little bit more reserved. Is it right? No, but look at all the wrong stuff I did.
Sure. And I definitely get that aspect, and I want to get your insight on it too, Marlon. I definitely get the aspect of, you know what I mean? You can't throw rocks if you're living in a glass house, right? And also on top of that, I also get that power corrupts, and a whole lot of money corrupts a whole lot of.
Definitely.
That being said, like, does that say? Because we was talking about it before the show got started, right? Like, you can't act like you got here all by yourself, right? But I also think that success and failure can give you a short memory. Cause there's been times, Marlon, when I went up there on that stage, and I bombed so hard that I got off stage like, have I ever been funny in my entire life? Have I ever said anything even humorous? I might, you know what I mean? Like, just one of those really bad ones.
Humbling experience. Yeah.
But then also, if you're a little white boy from Canada and knows how to play 7 different instruments, and all of a sudden Usher Raymond goes, "Yo, you finna be a star," and then you get on shows, and next thing you know, you blowing up. You 14 years old. Who's gonna tell you?
Right.
Hey, I don't think you should be. I don't know if that's the best move, bro.
Right.
You might want to think about it. Hey, before you go to Harlem with this guy,
Right.
I still don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Before you go over to this Harlem dude's house, 16 years old, you might want to think twice. I'm telling you this, if I'm 14 with $80 gajillion and everybody's trying to get my same haircut, and I got co-signed by Usher Raymond, tell me I can't do what I'm doing. Yeah. I dare you.
And your frontal lobe ain't
even close.
Right, yeah.
Ain't even close.
Right.
I don't want to play a game of Connect 4 with a 16-year-old right now.
Exactly.
I don't care if they my nephew, nobody. Get out of my face. I don't want to hear nothing.
Levels, man. You're on 2 different levels, man. You know, you can't, but I mean, that's a real dicey situation, man, but kids is
there's certain levels that
I almost believe in capital punishment when it comes to kids. You know what I mean?
Do me a favor. Can you get the mic? Yeah, yes, okay. Sir. I want to make sure we're getting it. Yeah, it should be good right about there. But yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you on that level. To what degree, right? Because there's also a part of it where it's like, all right, you do the crime, you do the time, and then you come out and look. If the government forgive you, and if you right with whatever you believe in before and the hereafter, who am I to judge you?
Yep.
Right? Yep. But at the same time, it's like, bro, I saw what I saw and I heard what I heard. I don't know what I don't know, but where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Because we in Chicago, prime example. We in Chicago. Now, right now, we happen to be on the north side, but 90% of the time I've lived in Chicago, it's been out south. And I tell you, every Sunday, they are playing R. Kelly like he's coming back tomorrow. It's blasting out of every house on Sunday. Yeah. People dancing in the streets. Can you separate the art from the artist? Can he still come back and be like, hey, we playing old Biggie songs, we playing old Mary J. Blige, hey, as a matter of fact, go out there and find the next star.
I think Diddy cooked, man. I don't think he can come back. I didn't want to say a name. I think he cooked, man. I just think that the worst thing that happened to him is that he can't be Diddy no more. I think that's worse than anything. That's worse than everything. He can't be, when he came in the room, he just grabbed the attention. You know what I'm saying? He ain't that no more. I think right now, that's enough for him right there as far as suffering. Trust me, it's killing him that he can't be the
He
man.
got a stain now.
Yeah, he got a stain, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I looked up to Puff when I was like in high school.
It was hard not to, just because
he had so much range. He was a black man that could be in O Block one day, the White House the next day. He had it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Diddy was, and then he was a positive black man. I bought it. I bought that he was positive.
I mean, you heard he was
You know what I'm
slapping a couple of people, but you was like, ah.
yeah, I bought it. But
They want to be him.
You know
what I'm saying?
but to answer your question, Mike, I think he just need to go and live his rich life and go away somewhere and just.
It's impossible. You know, there was a record label once upon a time called Def Jam, and I think that he needs to go and live his life somewhere and get forgot about. It's being done by somebody pretty successfully right now.
Yeah.
Because I heard there was some rumblings in the junglings, and and I heard some people's
That person ain't coming back to America no more. You know.
I heard some people got their passport out like,
yeah,
we getting out of here.
yeah.
So, and I know this your show, Mike.
No,
and I
please.
love being on it. But what about everybody that was around? No matter
That's what it is.
No matter what you say now, right?
Yeah,
If you can say it now, you've seen it then.
yeah.
And I get the concept, right? We talking about humans. So I get the concept of he paying me $60,000 a month.
Of course.
Of course I'm not gonna say nothing, right? Yeah. But now you want to jump up like you got all these morals and values, and go be a part of the documentary, right? Want to turn over all this footage that you got, but you knew. Look how he was treating you in your own footage that you got turned over, right? Yeah. And I mean, it's just that's why for me, it's like the more you focus on it, the reality is it's just a distraction.
Yeah.
So it becomes a distraction when you still gotta live your life and you still gotta move forward.
True.
And there's always gonna be some shadiness in anything. There's shadiness from the White House to the
outhouse, the
suburbs.
greenhouse,
You name it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I rely on my faith a lot, right?
Yeah.
Because with my faith comes some discernment, right?
Yeah.
I might not do it perfectly, and I might not. I use this saying, I perfectly and perfectly practice spiritual principles.
I get it.
Right?
Totally.
Now, as a human, I cannot become a spiritual principle. Anybody that tell me that they're honest, I shy away from. You can practice honesty. You can practice willingness. You can practice these things. You can practice spiritual principles, but you're not going to hit it on the head 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe myself that we live in the gray, but we remember in black and white, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're going through it, I'm just the limo driver. I know we sitting outside of this. I know we sitting outside of this school.
Right.
But I'm just picking somebody up and then dropping them off. What happens after that? I collect my check. I go about my business. There's back to those early life lessons. When they tell you if something's happening to you, especially if you're a young lady, don't scream for help. Scream for fire. Right? Because you scream help, people is like, nah. There's a brother by the name of Malcolm Gladwell. He's an author, and he talks about back in the day in New York. It's a bigger building, one of them big apartment buildings. Got 500 people living, and somebody was outside getting unalived, and they were screaming the whole time. And the reason nobody came to save him is if you live in apartment 302, you're like, I know apartment 202 is gonna help him.
Right.
I'm gonna mind my business. And if apartment 202 doesn't help him, apartment 102 is gonna help him. Meanwhile, apartment 202 and 102 is like, I know apartment 302's got it. I'm gonna mind my business. And when do you exercise that humanity? Because that's an even bigger. That becomes like an even bigger question. Like, when do you, if you're sitting on a red line and you start to see something, like when do you step up out of your place and start minding somebody else's business in a city like Chicago?
Yep.
Like when do you take accountability for other people?
Whoa, that's pretty dicey, man. I think it got to be selective, man. You have to just use your judgment. Like, if I'm seeing a young girl, a young child being, messed up by somebody grown or something like that,
Right.
then, I'll probably get on my phone and 911 or something like that. But I sure ain't got nothing to say. I ain't gonna lie, because these people's, man, they don't care no more, man. They'll make you a part of the equation. You know what I mean? It's like you see all these quote unquote YNs on the red line, how they just extorting people and doing stuff like that, man. And there are people just sitting there, they nervous as hell because they don't want to be next, man. And these kids don't have a conscience. So I think you got to be selective, man, and just use your best judgment possible. You got to really survey the situation and see, can I make a difference without bringing attention to myself? So I think it's circumstantial that you can know.
Sure.
You may have to, I hate to say this, but you may have to mind your business sometimes.
When you was talking, Marlon, what stood out for me, what I thought about was this. I thought about when do I protect myself and when do I protect somebody else?
Yeah.
Right?
Facts.
Because if it was me, then you're going to have to kill me.
Yeah.
Right? That's the way I'm looking. If it's me.
That's how I am.
But
too.
if I'm looking at another situation, what goes through people's head is all this stuff.
I got a family.
like,
I got responsibilities. I got.
and not just that, she gonna be with him afterwards.
Sure.
Because to be honest, I ain't never broke up a fight between a buddy of mine and his girl.
Sure. Yeah.
Because they always get back together.
Yep. Yep.
And the crazy part about it is this, is that as a child, I got thrown down, tossed around by my dad trying to break up fights with my mom, right? Because I was a straight mama's boy. I was spoiled, the youngest, her only boy. So in the nuclear family, in the household, I had two older sisters. And I did have two parents in the household till I was like 9 years old, right? So that was my very, very beginnings, right? And we all got affected by it in different ways.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I focused and concentrated on school, but I wasn't in public school. I was at prep school, but I would come home every night. And my oldest sister focused on doing what she needed to do to get out on her own, and has worked all of her life.
Yeah.
And my middle sister, like I told you, I think she was in the streets at 13. You know what I'm saying? So human nature, human instinct, and then there's always that built in, either you born with it or you not. Fight or flight. If you a fighter, you a fighter.
Yeah.
If you a flighter, you a flighter.
Yes.
No matter how old you get, no matter what goes on.
That's facts.
And so a lot of that, there's just so much, man, to, people tend to just go through life with blinders, right? Like, I don't say it, but there was a point in time, and I didn't say it then, but I lived my life like I could see around the corner. Like, I know what's going to happen next.
Sure.
And I know that based off of all I got to do is look at some of the things I did that was idiotic and foolish.
Oh, when you young, if you in your 20s, you can't even die unless you die.
Right.
You invincible until you ain't.
That's true.
I can do it all,
That's
and
true.
so it's so many like dynamics and things. I like to sit up and sometimes and just listen to the people that have really studied human beings. And when I went to college, I took a couple sociology classes and psychology classes and political science, and you'd be surprised about all the stuff political science touches on, right? It touches on people in their life and how they live and the decisions that they make, right? But the thing about it is that at the end of the day, this world is something else. This world is something else.
We are in the most interesting times in recorded history. Let me ask you this, because I want to say it was last year, for the first time since I want to say Heavy D and the Boys, hip hop went out of the
40.
Billboard Top 40 for like an entire quarter, was it? Or something like that? What is going on? And for the first time in my entire life, somebody that was considered top 10 current MCs apologized in the battle. I know that wasn't last year, but it was recent enough. And now Buddy is trying to get his wave back, and it ain't going his way. Yeah. Now here's I happen to be I was born in the 1980s. I'm from one of the last generations, if not the last generation, where toxic masculinity was smiled upon. Mm-hmm. We had DMX, we had damn Arnold Schwarzenegger, we had G.I. Joe in them. Yeah. We had every as far as being like overly masculine. Some of the games we played, and you wouldn't even stop to consider that you were hurting people's feelings with like your word choices, nothing. We used to play a game. I didn't even grow up with y'all, and I know for sure you played a game where somebody grabbed a football. It was 20 of us in a grassy field, and whoever had the football, you go and tackle them. We didn't call it everybody tackle that one guy. We called it a name for no reason, and I didn't think about it. This right here, we used to call this a name. I can't even say it on YouTube. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like toxic masculinity wasn't like, and forget about the generations going back. And now like mental, like emotional intelligence, mental awareness, not using certain words, coming up with different phrases to categorize things. And look, there's a part of me that can get frustrated at certain things too, because the oven dinged. I'm out. I'm sitting on the counter. Like it ain't no more ingredients going into this. Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But for these newer generations, it's like, okay, so when J. Cole apologized, is that the right thing to do? Is that the healthier way to have black men not going out there? Because you remember after COVID, brother, when drill was really drilling, and it wasn't music. We was just hearing about what was fitting to happen next weekend and what happened last weekend, and it was happening. It was happening in front of my. I don't even want to tell you what neighborhood I was in, but if you heard it, I was seeing it directly. Okay, so even though I'm looking at J. Cole like, man, you making light skins look real crazy in these streets. Is it the right way?
I'm gonna see what you say about that.
I think, you know what? I think you can't fault J. Cole, for not wanting to battle Kendrick like that. You know what I'm saying? And taking a step back and stuff like that. I mean, everybody's different. That hip hop. Everybody can't be the same. Everybody ain't meant to battle. Everybody don't want to battle all the time, And that's what hip hop is missing. That's why we ain't in the top 40, because everybody sound the freaking same. You had Tribe Called Quest, then you had NWA, then you had like Outkast, Wu-Tang. It was just like, whoa, you had so many different ways of who to listen to. Now everybody is sticking with one thing and they running with it. Like right now, the females are ratchet. They running with the ratchet thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The dudes was drilling. When Vaughn got out, drilling had died for a second. Vaughn brought it back. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
With a vengeance, right? And so everybody ain't, as far as J. Cole, go back to your question, I don't think that he, is less of a man, less of a rapper. I still think he one of the most talented, if not the most talented dude out. You know what I'm saying? I still mess with Cole.
My respect for him went up.
Yeah.
For him as a man. Yeah. My respect for his music.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you heard his album?
The Fall Off, have you heard it?
I've heard like a couple of songs.
Listen to the whole thing.
Okay.
Listen to the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So, I've heard his album.
Okay.
When he said he was going to do a show somewhere, they sold out.
Mm-hmm.
They sold out. As a battle rapper growing up, because before you could, there was only the gatekeepers had, because it was new, so it had to be gatekeepers, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody and their mama rapped.
Yeah.
Because I even had some contests where grandmothers got in the contest. Everybody and their mama rapped, right? But only so many people. There were only so many slots to get your music on wax, right? And so battling has always been part of rap because before it was on wax, it was one going at each other, right? So I totally get what you're saying. And that's what I grew up under because, like, I was born in 65. So in 79, when it was jumping, I was jumping with it.
Right.
Because I was 13, 14 years old. And I watched it, you know, and it used to be a cool thing.
Right.
See, now because of the internet, now because of all the money involved, it's a genre that really, even as it goes through this lull, it's not going anywhere.
No, you can't.
It's too.
It's the most basic form of music.
Yes.
Yep.
And
it's unique.
So I also have a lot of respect for him, but it didn't curtail my enthusiasm for his talent.
Yep.
And at the end of the day,
Okay.
his talent, his ability to put melodies and words together and flip the script and you know, when he say one thing that really means something else and then wrap it around a stick and all that, like, he cold-blooded at that.
Yeah.
Right? Now, as someone that rapped, there's a difference between someone that can make a catchy song, a hit record, and that is a true lyricist.
He's got the it.
Right. And so for me, I wish he would have. I feel like he could have steamrolled it. But what happened was that one song called Fire.
Yeah.
That one song called Fire.
He dunked
and it was going to be hard to
the whole strategy. The whole strategy caught fire.
You know,
that was cool.
And so he bowed out.
Can I tell you real quick why I disagree? I'm glad you brought up battle rap. I'm not as heavy into the battle rap scene now because it's
different.
It's commercial. It's yeah. But so when it goes to battle rap, one of my favorite battles ever was Cassidy Freeway.
That was dope battle.
That was cold, right? Now here's the thing. Cassidy lost every single round. Cassidy lost every single word. But he never gave in. Now he did kind of put the beat on, and you know, people was like, ah, man, he's eating you alive. And I think he went like 5 rounds or something like that. Fair enough. But Freeway said, I'm the best at this. Cassidy said, no, I'm the best at this. They went bar for bar for bar. I think the whole hip hop world would say Cassidy, got him on that one. But he never stopped saying, I'm the best at this. J. Cole built a majority of his career saying, I'm the best at this. Step to the line. I'm going to lay you down. I don't care who you is. And then the moment the light went, beep, beep, all right.
Let's see.
Remember all that stuff you was talking?
Right.
Here you go.
Okay.
And then when it was, that's why it's hard for me to listen to the album
like
right now. Because if he was just Andre 3000 in it up and just saying, the moons and the stars and the quasars, they're really, really far. All right, fine, fair enough. Because he could rap his ass off. Yeah. But you said you were the best, bro.
But two things can be right at the same time.
Okay.
So, like, I agree. Like, I don't disagree with your opinion, right? And even the thought process that you went through to get to that opinion, right? Like, it makes a lot of sense.
Because we've all known that dude that's like, I'll whoop a nigga quick. I'll beat up it. And then when you see that situation happening, it's like, not only did you not do nothing, you got socked in your face and then do nothing.
I mean, he did body everybody when he got on their record. He didn't lie about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I get it. And I get different fans, different levels, and, feeling like. But one thing that's a little different now than it was back then is outside of the core people. You still could listen to their music. You didn't have to pick a side.
True.
This beef made you pick a side
Yep.
because of the way they went about it.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know?
It's the content too.
Investigating stuff and using AI and the internet to find out stuff and ask questions.
Didn't
and
one of them use like AI to do like a Tupac song or something like that?
I want to say yeah,
One of them cats was.
Right.
And then you had Drake allegations.
Using all that, and then just, I mean, it was different back in the day. It was right. The whole world didn't see you talking about.
Yeah.
They talked about each other's mama back then because I did.
Yeah, your
Sure.
mama, yeah.
But that was only the people that lived on Leland.
Absolutely.
That was in my mom's front yard.
Yeah.
Right?
'Cause I know you.
Is being broadcast on what? Podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
right? All across the internet, Instagram.
Oh, it's 20.
Facebook.
It's
You see what I'm
25/8.
saying?
Oh, man.
So it just hits different.
And then not to get too far away from my original question, right? Black culture, black hip hop culture, to be specific, right? A lot of it's built on not just pride, but I don't know the word I'm looking, but like respect, right? Right now, you got on a crispy ass pair of 95s, match your Ohio State jersey. They fire. Now, if in front of me, you and Marlon, I just for no reason stepped on him and I didn't say excuse me, that could be a real it's in our culture.
Yeah.
That could end the absolute worst way possible.
Yep. Facts.
Let alone if it's just in the room with us. If we outside in front of people, and I don't at the very least say excuse me,
Yeah.
our culture in particular,
Man,
that can go as far left as you can possibly imagine.
Facts.
So to not get away from the original question, if at some point in time during the Biggie and the Tupac, if Biggie and or Pac said, hey, got on stage and somebody recorded him and said, hey, I just want to tell you guys, hey, I'm sorry, would have lost all their fans, would have lost their record deal, would have kept their life.
Yep.
Is Buddy apologizing a clearer way for the culture to go, or is it, nah, bro, this is music, this is the culture. The culture says there can only be one king at the top. There's only Afro Samurai. Only one person gets the number one headband.
You know what? One thing I don't agree with Jay-Z about was that when he talked about he thinks that maybe balance should stop.
I knew you was gonna say that. Yeah. I watched that interview last night
And
for
the
the first
reason
time.
that I don't agree with it because that is the backbone of rap and hip hop.
It's the backbone of America while you playing.
KRS and what was the the Juice Crew.
Yeah.
Browns.
Yeah. The Bridge is Over or whatever like that. Nas J.
But see though, not to cut you off, Tony.
No, you
but the
cut
thing
me
is that back then, MC Shan went on to be a star. KRS-One went on to be a star. Kool Moe Dee and LL battle. They both came out of it unscathed.
LL and Cannabis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even Nas and Jigga.
Yeah.
Actually, that boosted Nas. That put Nas back up there. Nas was kind of going through some
Yeah,
stuff.
Ether?
And that battle, the way he got at Jay.
You still use Ether as a round for something else.
Ether's a rep, but yeah, man, you got Ether.
Yo, you just eating these pancakes.
Exactly. So
Ether was it.
Whew.
Ether, I remember when Ether came out, everybody stopped. Everybody, every car going down the street had Ether on it. I remember when that came out. That was ugly.
But does the fire have to burn in order for it? If there is no fire, if you put the fire out, does that like lose the respect? Like, are you scared of a lion roaring if it's missing its teeth and its claws?
So now I see how you wrapping all this up and bringing this all together with what he did because Jay didn't back down, Biggie didn't back down, Pop didn't back down.
Jay didn't back down. His mama said, "Look. You just talked about his baby mama. You said you left what in the baby seat?
Right.
Nah, you done.
Yeah, his mama slept. Yeah. Even Ja Rule didn't back down. He just got beat.
Yeah.
You said,
Still.
Yeah.
Can you think of somebody else that waved the white flag?
That's what I would do.
So I get what you said.
Yeah.
to wave a white flag in that manner on this platform, the way the platform
this
is
is
set
hip hop.
up today.
The way it's set up.
This is hip hop.
The way it's set up, because it's like, look, the rules for the
I'm
UFC.
still gonna listen to him though.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's,
Hell yeah.
and I get it because you could if you switch it from say the battling part to, because you know who else is kind of a trendsetter in a negative way with the way the game is set up, your boy 6ix9ine. You can't get away from him, but now all of a sudden, if you tattletale, your career ain't over.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of there's a gentleman I believe in Atlanta, rapper turned producer, and recently I heard some news about this gentleman. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but he had an artist. He had an artist that word on the street, the artist wasn't really feeling the deal that he was on. Called him over to the studio, and then woo up the bam, all of a sudden this particular Atlanta rapper producer is signing the exit for this brother's contract. Now the game is saying, yo, he's tattletaling. That ain't what we about. But on the other side, it's like, wait a minute. He was just supposed to eat that? He was supposed to eat him getting robbed, getting forced at alleged bang bang point to sign out Buddy's deal. And then also I heard like his engineer, his producer, like his cameraman is getting their pockets ran.
Yeah.
Like, so the game says I'm supposed to look the other way and be like, man, you better not say nothing because that's the rules to the game. 6ix9ine out here like, yeah, I told I'll do it again. Give me my bag.
That's whose interpretation of what the game is.
Right.
Because from the time I was little, I was told that the game ain't fair.
Never.
Okay? And it's never been fair.
Nope.
And it's cold.
It's a cold
Right.
thing.
So people act like when somebody does something like that, like snitching just started.
Yeah.
People been snitching from day one.
That's a part of the game.
People set up. People the game ain't
It's in your job description.
Yeah.
It's in your job description.
Hey, rule number 1, never rat on your friends. Rule number 10, snitching's a part of the game.
Yep.
Your friend's gonna rat on you.
How do you think police get most of their evidence?
How do you think we got all these mafia movies?
Yeah. Exactly.
Somebody had to tell us the story.
Right.
Goodfellas.
And the thing about it is this, right? So you get, because of the way the platform is set up now,
Yeah.
right? So you get all these people talking about it, right? And one thing that you got to understand about people, when they start talking, you know what they think? That they know what they talking about. People that don't know what they talking about,
Yeah.
generally, that think they don't know what they talking about, generally be quiet.
Facts.
So when someone opens their mouth, they think that they know what they're talking about, whether they're right or wrong, whether they know what they're talking about or not, right? But, and I'm gonna just use this as a scenario. If you've ever been to jail in your 20s or 30s, which should be the best part of your life, you know you never get it back. You know it's no fun. So then you get out, you mature. Okay? That man is 50 years old plus. Okay? Now, you don't tell, you get your get back, and then at 55, you go into jail with a 20-year sentence. How did Bill, not Bill, how did the running back feel about that? From Buffalo. And the time that he got out of jail, he
then
spent
got
more
popped.
time in jail
Getting his own stuff.
than he did living, being alive after he got out of jail.
Yeah.
So you want everybody to be the tough guy, right? You want everybody to just say, "No, man, people been telling, they're gonna keep on telling," you know, and that's a street code. But this, hold on, You wanna bring the street code into that was a business.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a business contract.
That's
That
how
was
I
not
feel.
a street contract.
Exactly.
That was a business contract.
Yeah, and ain't snitching when you trick on somebody that you did a crime with to get yourself out of it. Like say, me and Johnny Joe go rob a liquor store, and I trick on him to lighten my sentence. Ain't that's what snitching. Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, so they was gonna make Gucci Man snitch. Look, when the feds come to you and say you got to tell us, they can get Gucci for not saying what he went through. You know what I'm saying? So he had to talk.
Yeah.
In a sense, he had to get them
You're
something.
absolutely right, but I don't think a decent amount of the streets is looking at the bylaws and the technicalities, right? Especially not if you in a group.
Yeah.
You can't be like, well, actually, let me ask you this. Because I've never did no long stays, and I never went past county, but I've had to sit down.
Same,
before.
yeah, I did county time.
What would you say is one of the most real lessons, for better or for worse, you learned at any point in time when you had to sit down, and like what was the circumstance?
The circumstances was having too much of that white stuff and having a birthday party and the weekend, a couple days after the birthday party, the door got kicked in, right? And the lesson was not one that I saw it immediately. I didn't learn from it immediately, right? But the lesson is that everybody that you think is your friend, not your friend. Number one. You better forgive your family, because when it's all said and done, those are the only ones that's gonna be there for you. See, when we free and out and we all got money, we'll throw it at each other. But what about when you ain't free and out and you need money for a lawyer, or you need money on your books?
You to rely on
it might
somebody.
come for a little while, but eventually it's gonna stop, because you're not in the free world and they are. But your family will always be there. And so it's just, you're supposed to mature, man. Like, okay, does a rock grow? But a rock is not alive. Does grass grow? Grass is alive.
That's right.
Do trees grow? Trees are alive. Are we alive?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we stop growing, we're dead. We're a rock.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I'm supposed to elevate. I'm supposed to want better for those that come behind me than I had for myself. I'm supposed to be able to share my wisdom and my experience and my knowledge. Whether they listen or not, my job isn't to steer them in the wrong direction. That's not why I was put here, right? Like, everybody has a purpose, everybody has a gift. That's two things that everybody has.
I believe that.
Most people never reach the level of that gift and that purpose because they can't get out of themselves.
Yeah.
I don't blame it on anybody else, right? I don't look at other people holding me back. I look at me holding me back. But at some point, something happens in everyone's life. And it might be death for some, but it might be a near-death experience for others, right? That will cause a change to make your brain shift in how you look at things, perceive things, think about things. And I mean, because some people just grow old. Some people don't get wise.
Yeah.
True. That is
Why
true.
you think you still got 50-year-old gangsters?
Yeah.
Because you ain't got
That situation we was just talking about.
Second childhood, like I say.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I mean, but guess what? Life is great.
Yeah.
This is as messed up as everything is. If you allow yourself to be distracted by what's going on, whether it's planned distraction or not planned distraction, right? Because some stuff is planned. I don't even want to get that deep, but at the end of the day, there's a whole history of keeping us down and a whole method to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And we buy into it, and it's difficult not to, right? But at some point, right, if I'm so focused on left and right, how am I ever gonna get ahead?
That's a fact.
How am I ever gonna get ahead? I'm not.
No.
I'm gonna stay stagnant. You know.
That's a fact. Yeah. What's one of the before we close out of here, Marlon? What's a lesson you've taken that might have come? What did Pac say? Like a rose out of the concrete. If you was down bad, what have you learned? What have you learned? What in some of one of your worst situations?
My worst situation, I ain't really did no jail time. The most I ever did was like a couple weeks in the county.
Yeah.
And so,
but not even that. Just I mean,
let's see. Worst, what I've learned is that, people are people, okay? And, everybody ain't your friend, man. Like, you gotta go through 4 seasons with, people just to even know if they real, You have to really cut the grass to see the snakes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, you have to go through things, man, and I'm really a firm believer in what's for you is for you, and through adversity, you see the real in people.
Absolutely. Now, before we completely wrap it up, we have the CEOs, CFOs, COOs, owner-operators, brainchilds, and creators of not only Black Life Entertainment, but Elephant in the Room Entertainment. You see the flyers here. Please let the folks know what they can expect, what you got going on now, what's coming up in the future, please.
So right now, the cool part, and I'll let him talk more about it, is that like we collaborate. We got us a new room. It's in Pilsen, but we also collaborating at a spot I've had for a while, Juliana, bringing opportunity to upcoming comedians, but also at the same time working with veteran comedians. Elephant in the Room itself has May the 16th, I think, is a Saturday, in Pilsen. Will be the first month of Diane Quarters.
Shout out Diane Carter, love you, baby.
So she now has a room just like she did at the Click, where upcoming comedians will get a chance to hit the stage. We added a little twist to it. She'll be inviting out veteran comedians, and at the end of the night, we got a little round table where certain comedians will get selected, and they'll get a chance to sit down with Diane Quarter and other veteran comedians in the building and get a critique of their performance, ask questions, like more of a like one-on-one or two-on-one type of thing, so they can, who better to learn from than somebody that's already seen it all.
That's valuable.
And then of course the tour's going on.
Shout out B Cole.
Yeah, that's
baby.
my man. I've learned a lot from him. I also want to acknowledge some other people right quick, like K Ferg, he's taught me a lot. Lisa Laird has taught me a lot.
Shout out Lisa.
OJ Lamont has taught me a lot. And I say that because they respected I respected their craft, and they respected my energy and wanting to learn and do something for people. See, it's not all about doing something for me. It's about doing something for people.
Yeah.
And so, we in Detroit Friday and Saturday this weekend. Then May 1st, we in Champaign, Illinois. Then May 15th, I think, we in Racine. And then May 17th, we in Grand Rapids. And then May 30th, we in Minneapolis.
Yeah, see, you got the calendar
June 12th,
tattooed in his brain.
June 12th, we in Rockford.
Yeah.
And it's been an enjoyable experience, but I'll be glad when it's over because because I can get back to home base all the time, And then also, and I'll let you talk on it further. We haven't really decided the format, but we got an event coming up on June the 20th.
June 6th, June 20th as well. Yeah. So for as far as me, like I said, I'm new in the game. I've been doing comedy shows about a year. I did one other comedy show. I booked Tommy Davidson maybe about right before COVID in 2019 with another marketing company I was working with. But I just jumped in this comedy show thing. I got my pre-Mother's Day show coming up May the 9th, the day, Saturday before Mother's Day. My man D Patrick gonna host. You know, that's like shout out D Patrick. That's my mother and D Patrick's dad is great friends. Used to work together. So you know we sons of daddy and mom, so to speak. So you know we roll like that. Yeah, no, I've been. Then I got my man Tony been mentoring me on the game. You know, on moves to make. You know, places to go. We got our thing doing June 6th and June 20th. I'm starting some open mics at the Wild Blossom Minery and Winery. Me and D Patrick gonna be doing that.
Yes,
We're looking
sir.
to get either Tuesdays or Wednesdays. We're just gonna see. It's probably gonna be Wednesdays. You know, I'm just outside, man. Just trying to get my feet in the game. I'm trying to do tours. Like I say, it's the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
It's a different world. You feel what I'm saying? So, you
All
know,
day.
I'm just trying my best, man. You know, I'm a solid dude. People that know me know I'm solid. You know, I'm trying to get my name out here. You know, I work hard. You know, I push for people. And I just want to give people opportunities, man. Definitely give people opportunities. And, you know, I come with losses, it come with gains. But, you know, if you want to sit in the chair and be the boss, you got to understand that the losses come with it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I've had some shows where it went crazy, and I probably made $100. But I don't care. Everybody had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm building, you know what I'm saying? And Black Life is here to stay.
Yeah.
Black Life Entertainment.
Black Life Entertainment.
Can I say one? Because I'd be remiss
Man,
not to
please,
do this.
please.
And that is that, like, I want to give a shout out to all those involved with Elephant in the Room Entertainment on a real basis, right?
Absolutely.
And that's
Clap
D
that
Patrick and that damn Didi, right?
Shout
Like,
out Didi.
at the top. That's
Love
That
that
damn
girl.
Didi is running
I got
on
a comedic-
solar power, nuclear
I got a
power.
comedic crush on her. I tell her that all the time. I have a comedic. I told her in front of my
horsepower,
girlfriend,
damn.
I got a comedic crush on you.
Yo, I don't know how. I don't even think she sleeps. She just recharges.
She going crazy on social media right now.
Yo.
And so, like, I have to do that, right? Because, like, I identified them, right? I became aware of them. I watched them. I identified, and they have some traits that I liked.
You
Right?
came to my show and peeped them out that day
So,
too. Yeah.
So then, what I did was, like, we've been working together since, right? And, like, they are the face of Elephant Entertainment. But, you know, I do other stuff outside of comedy. You know, I do a variety show. You know, that's packed out every month, right? But Elephant in the Room Entertainment, the comedy side of it is my main focus.
Yeah.
You know, I got my own bartender. I got 3 DJs. I got my door person. You know, I want to give a shout out to Brenda Stewart because
Shout out.
that is my girl. But at the same time, like, bro, you gotta have somebody, and I know he got somebody in his corner,
Yeah,
right?
for
Like
sure.
that, bro. She on tour with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And doing her, but on tour with me.
Absolutely.
You know, so like that's important, man.
Of course.
You know, it's a business, but like I treat them like family.
Yeah.
Of
And I
course.
try to put them in a position
Your
where they
team
can
is
make-
everything.
Yeah.
where they can make money and don't have to make money just that stuff they do for me.
Yeah.
Of
Like
course.
I book them out on other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even my
Yeah.
DJs, my door people. You know what I'm saying?
And this man could hook up with any promoter. D introduced me to him. He opened up his doors for me. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, he moving. I'm trying to move. And shout out to Speak Your Truth too.
Yeah, shout out to Speak Your
That's
Truth.
Them some good
my
people.
man D Patrick is the moderator. It's D Patrick, Ray Stormbreaker, myself, out of the gentlemen that on the panel. You got Carla Renee, the actress, she's the host. You got Day Day Howe, who's a comedian that's funny, and you got Candace. So
Yeah.
and we do our thing first Thursdays every month at LTV events out in Hazelcrest. Speak Your Truth is off the chain, man. You know, I just want to shout out to my Speak Your Truth family.
And that's what it is. And you already know me. Mike Knight, your host of the Real Rap Podcast. Please make sure you check out these guys. I've had the honor and privilege of working under both of their productions. Solid individuals. I don't care what side of town you on. Reach out to these guys. Get plugged in and tuned in because they real about their craft. They're real about the people that they work with. And they real about trying to get it done out here in the city of Chicago and more. You heard about the tour, ladies and gentlemen. So tune in. Check out Elephant in the Room Entertainment on all the things. Check out Black Life on all the things. What's the other? How else they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Smooth Chocolate 77.
That's crazy. I'm glad I asked. I wasn't gonna say that myself.
It came from Smooth Jazz.
That's all.
That's my radio name. All right. I don't say it to men too much. You know what I'm saying?
And look, I already know Tone enough to know he ain't trying to give you his personal.
Right.
Yo, he wants you to go check out Elephant in the Room Entertainment.
Yeah.
They post constantly. Big shout out to the whole team because I got relationship with everybody on their squad, man, and they all stand up people. This is Real Rap Podcast. Doing it real big. We just getting started. It's summertime shot. You guys have no idea what else is coming down the pipe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is happening. My man Marlon, Tony Strong, Mike Knight, Real Rap Podcast. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. God bless.
Good show. Good show.